What's up? What's up, peoples? Welcome to a special edition of June's Court March Madness. While June's Court on the Sand Sports Media Multimedia Network. A nice little pop-up show. You know, we're gonna be doing a lot of pop-ups. I'll add that in a few minutes. When I'm talking about, I'll tell you what I'm talking about when I say pop-ups. But yeah, man, this June's Court March Madness, man. We're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna break down each and every bracket, all four brackets. We're gonna predict who's gonna win it all. You know, March. That's why I call it March Madness, man, because you never know what's gonna happen in March, man. You want the Cinderella teams. We're gonna also talk about the Cinderella teams that's in it. Which Cinderella team can make a deep run. We're gonna talk about the 5 and 12 matchups. We're gonna talk about it all, man. We're gonna help y'all break these brackets down before Thursday come. Well, you do have the playing games. You know, the first 4 games. So we'll definitely get into that too. So we also, for the people that like to make some brackets, man, we also running some bracket challenges, man, for Wild Wednesday June's Court. It's on my page. It should be on Dennis' page, and I think it's on the Sand Sports page. But yeah, but you can find it on my page. I will post the link up in a few minutes. If you want to enter the Wild Wednesday June's Court, I will definitely post the link up in the past where to get into it, because it's a private group. I might make it public after the show. Just let anybody get in there. But whoever win will receive, and my girl will video chat me while I'm doing the show. Hold on, give me a sec. Never mind. But
I guess.
Babe, you know I'm on the show, right?
Yes, but I wanted to see if you want.
Yo, you are fired. You are fired. You and her are fired.
She kept calling me. If it ain't Ralph, you know I don't want the cake, babe.
You don't want no cheesecake?
I get it. Just get it. Give me a piece.
Nah, Bob. Bye.
She still kept talking to me while I'm doing the show. But this is the fill of 68, as you can see. The fill of 68. And this is how they rank each and every team. You see, Alabama is the first team up there. And then you got Houston with the second seed. A lot of people are going back and forth. They believe that that Kansas should have been the number 2 seed, but Houston got it. Houston been the more dominated team this year. So you could go back and forth with that with Houston. With Houston or Kansas. Then you got Purdue with the other top seed in the East region. So yeah, that rounds out the top seeds of each bracket right there. With Alabama, Houston, Kansas, and Purdue. All right. Then you got the rest of the field of 68. And this is how the committee ranked them from 1 to 68. As we move along, the South region, the overall number 1 seed, Bama will be taking on the winner of the first playing game. And I think that game is tomorrow night between Texas A&M Corpus and Southeast Missouri. Alabama definitely won the SEC championship and in a great fashion, man. And look, man, they got the talent, man. Even though they're dealing with controversy right now, and even though they're dealing with a lot of controversy right now with the shooting and with Miller, they still, if they could get focused, man, they could definitely win it all. But yeah, they're the number 1 seed in the South, and they'll be if they should win their first game. They'll play the winner of the 8 and 9 matchup in Maryland and West Virginia. And that's the game that's going to kick everything off on Thursday afternoon. This matchup right here, West Virginia and Maryland. I didn't really watch Maryland too much this year, but West Virginia definitely has some guys that could light it up from the outside. When we talk about Stevenson, who led them in 3-point shooting, he stayed leading scorer with 15 points a game. And Trey Mitchell, and the guy that's inside banging the boards for them. So I like West Virginia to move on in that matchup. To play Alabama, which will be an interesting interesting game. Then you move on, man, to San Diego State and Charleston. It's that 5-12 matchup. It's that 5-12 matchup. That everybody gotta watch out for. Charleston been a good team, great team all year. This Charleston team, I ran through their conference, basically. And this, if I'm looking at a 5-12 matchup, and this Charleston team could shoot it from the outside, big time. Could shoot it from the outside, and San Diego State team, from the Mountain West, the conference, they won their division, they conference this year, man, and I like Charleston in this matchup, man, for some reason. Charleston only lost 3 games this year, man. They was undefeated at one point. The only, they did lose to North Carolina early in the season, but and they went on a crazy streak to Hofstra, and they lost 2 back-to-back games to Hofstra and Drexel, but they definitely won a division, man. And this is my 5-12 matchup right here that I like right here. What Kilo talking about? Kilo saying, what Kilo say? I'm making my bracket tonight. Okay, make it, baby. Make it, man. Virginia Furman, another one. We might see 2 double-digit matchups right here. Because Virginia, they are well known for their defense, but it's the problem is when they run against a team that could score, put the ball in the basket, that's the problem, man. And remember a couple of years ago, they was in the overall number 1 seed, and I believe it was a team out of Maryland that beat them. UMBCK, KC, I think it was. But they were caught on fire that night, man, and beat. And the first time you seen the number 1 seed go down in the tournament. So this Furman team, man, is good too, man. So if I have another team to look out for, double-digit wise, Cinderella wise, it will definitely be Furman, man. Furman let me see. Furman, trying to see what division, what conference they from. But they definitely one of them teams to watch out for in this bracket, the South bracket right here. As you move along, you got Creighton and NC State. This is gonna be a high scoring game between those 2 teams, man. NC State, who have a guard and Travion Smith, and Holler. I think I'm saying it right. Holler, right? Yeah, Holler. They're a great backcourt, man. So watch out for NC State. They're another team that could make a deep run. Coming out of the ACC, and the players Joyner and Travion Smith, yeah, and Jaquel Joyner. So we'll see. And Creighton coming out of that Big East, man. They've been playing good ball all year. So let's see if they can keep this going. Led by Tashawn Alexander from Creighton. As we move along, we got Baylor and UC Santa Barbara. Baylor should win that one. They have a lot of veterans on that team. A Baylor team that made make deep runs in the NCAA, could just removed for like 2 years ago from winning the championship. So Baylor should advance in that matchup. Then you got Missouri and Utah State. That should be a good matchup. Watch out for Utah State, and that's another game I think is gonna be high scoring. If you want to pick the over on my gambling guys, you want to pick the over. That's gonna be a interesting game. The Arizona at Princeton to round out the South region. Arizona, a good team, man. They just won the Pac-12 championship, and they could get Alabama a run for their money. They definitely could get Alabama a run for their money. So we'll see. As we move along, the Midwest region, and a lot of people felt like I said, a lot of people felt like Kansas should have should have been the number one seed in the Midwest region since it's going to be in Kansas, but they gave it to Houston, and Houston will open up with North Kentucky team that definitely could score, but Houston led by this kid right here, Sasser, definitely going to be a tough out, man. A lot of people favorites to win it all. They did lose in the conference championship game, the AAC championship game to Memphis, but they definitely could get it going, man. Coached by Calvin Sampson and we got Dalton. What's going on, Dalton? My guy Dalton in the building. Iowa and Auburn, interesting matchup, man. Iowa team that have a lot of great shooting from the outside, led by Chris Murray, the younger brother of Keegan Murray. So I like Iowa to advance in that one, but I can't count no Bruce Pearl team out, man, at Auburn. So that should be a good match, 8-9 matchup. So Miami and Drake, that 5-12 matchup again. Drake team definitely could give Miami problems, man. Miami have two guys they're gonna rely on, and Isaiah Wong, they point guard, and Omir, the big guy in the middle. So Miami coming out of the ACC should win this game, but it's a 5-12 matchup. You never know. I'm gonna have some of my brackets because I'm gonna put like 4 or 5 brackets in. I'm gonna have Drake getting the upset here. Another upset special to watch out for: Kent State coming out of the MAC conference against Indiana out the Big Ten. Kent State is a team that definitely could score with the best of them. They say that's cheating. With the best of them. So let's see. Indiana led by Tracy Davis, led by Tracy Davis and Shafino. Shout out to Shafino, man, repping that Clarity. He one of the guys that rep Clarity. So definitely Shafino is one of those guys. It's Jalen Hood Shafino. Yes. Is one of the guys to look out for in this region if you want to look out for some good players. And Tracy Davis is another one who should be a top 10 draft pick in this upcoming draft in June. Iowa State and it's the number 6 seed in this region, and they'll be taking on the first 4 game between Mississippi State and Pitt. And this game I think will be taking place tomorrow night in Dayton. Let me see. Let me go back here and see. Yes, this game is 9:30, 9:10 tomorrow night in Dayton. So let's see, man, who advanced, man. Mississippi State coming out of the SEC, and Pitt, who's representing the ACC in this matchup right here. You can't do more than one, man. You could do a lot, as many as you want, man. Xavier, repping the Big East, man. We'll be taking on Michigan. Is that Michigan State? Ooh, Kennesaw State. My eyes. Need to put my glasses on. Kennesaw State. In the first round matchup, Xavier should definitely move on in that matchup. And you got Texas A&M and Penn State. That should be a good game, a good one. Penn State team that was just removed, giving Purdue all that they could handle in that Big Ten championship game. But they are led by Seth Lundy and the kid, Yagar Pickett, man, and they're gonna be a tough out, man. Penn State definitely could make some noise in this region right here. Then you got Texas, man. Texas, some believe could have pushed the issue to be a number one seed in this bracket, man. And they gonna be another tough team in this region too that could give Houston a run for their money. So Texas, they should be one of those teams that a lot of people have moving on in this matchup. But Colgate, don't count out Colgate though. Colgate is definitely a good team. All right, we move along. They put Kansas out west, and their first round matchup will be against Howard, the Howard Bison. So Kansas was led by Jalen Wilson, but they definitely have other great players. When you talk about Grady Dick, and KJ Adams. So Kansas, another team, man, the defending champions. And don't forget, Kansas did win the championship last year. A lot of people do forget about that. They definitely did win the championship last year. So let's see if they could go back to back. Arkansas, Illinois. My boy was just talking about this game. There's a lot of money on this game. It's going back and forth. But I like Arkansas in this matchup, man. SEC over the Big Ten Illinois team. Another 12-5 matchup. William Hathaway, what's going on? My God, William Hathaway is in the building. Big East guy. Let me tell you about Hathaway. He covered the Big East, man. He definitely covered the Big East heavy. I'm gonna have him on the show in a couple of weeks. Actually, next week. They'll definitely talk about some college basketball. So, my God, William Hathaway, thanks for tuning in too. June's Court March Madness edition. St. Mary's in VCU. 5-12 matchup again. Everybody take VCU in this matchup. I like VCU. VCU just won the A10 and the A10 championship. So I like VCU in this matchup right here. Another 5-12 matchup. And that game will be taking place, I think, Friday afternoon. I'm looking at the schedule now. Because St. Mary's, don't count St. Mary's out, 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. I'll definitely be on watching that game. VCU team, they are dangerous. They're definitely a dangerous team, man. And they are led by Adrian Baldwin Jr., who averaged above 13 points a game. So, yeah, watch out for them, man. Well, definitely watch out for them. And as we move along, we got TCU and the TCU will be playing UConn. UConn and Iona. The battle of the Tri-State right here. Iona team that is coached by Rick Pitino. But this UConn team coached by Hurley. They got some players on this team too, man. That definitely could ball out and make some noise in this tournament. UConn. Let me see. UConn. When do they play UConn? This matchup will be at 4:30 in the afternoon. And UConn have a couple of players, man. They rely on Jordan Hawkins, and the big guy in the middle, and Sonogo. So those guys lead the team in scoring with 16 points a game. So get me on this show. Let me see if I can send you the link, because William Hathaway do definitely know about a lot of college basketball, man. He actually go to these games. And hold on, William Hathaway. I'm gonna see if I could definitely send you the invite, though. William Hathaway. Don't get on here with that broke phone, man. As we move along, TCU will play the winner of the second play game between Arizona State and Nevada. That should be an interesting game, man. Arizona State team coming out of that Pac-12 is a tough team. So watch out for Arizona State. And they should win that game against Nevada, but you never know, man. Like I said, it's the March Madness, man. Gonzaga and the number 3 seed in this bracket, they are out west. We'll be taking on Grand Canyon. So Gonzaga led by Drew Timme and Straughter. So those guys definitely should be play a big part in that. So we'll see. You got Northwestern and Boise State. Northwestern, the tough, gritty team coming out of the Big Ten. Definitely should be a tough out for Boise State. A Boise State team was one of the last 4 teams in this bracket. So in this tournament, man. Shout out to the Mountain West, man, getting 4 teams in there, man. Show you how tough that division is. And we just talked about Nevada. So the Mountain West, man, San Diego State, and I'm in Utah State is the 4th team they got in that division, man. What up? What up? What up, Chad? What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning into the show, man. Thanks for tuning into the show. Just tell me, if y'all in the comments, man, let me know who's gonna win these brackets, man. Which matchup you like? Definitely do that, man. UCLA to round off this West region. UCLA stays out west to take on UNC Asheville. UNC Asheville, UCLA team led by Jaime Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez, definitely a veteran player. He was senior who had a lot of experience in this NCAA. So they made a deep run a couple of years ago. To get eliminated by a great big shot by Jalen Suggs, who's now in the NBA playing for the Orlando Magics. So, yeah, man, the West region should be an interesting one. As we move along, we in the East region where Purdue is the number 1 overall seed in this division, and they'll be playing the win out of Texas Southern and FDU. Shout out to FDU Jersey. FDU is representing Jersey. They are in the tournament, and they'll be playing Wednesday night. And a lot of people will be tuning in for that game in this area around here. And then the second one, you got Memphis and Florida Atlantic. Memphis is one of my Dark Horse teams that definitely could make a run. Led by Kendrick Davis, high scorer. Led the America Athletic Conference in scoring. So Kendrick Davis could definitely lead his team to a big run in the tournament. There you have Duke, the number 5 seed, who another team right here could definitely got a lot of blue bloods in this division right here, in this region right here. Duke and Oral Roberts, that 5, they put Duke in that 5-12 matchup, man. Oral Roberts ain't no slouch neither, but Duke is just, they go 10 deep, man. They go 10 deep. They're gonna definitely be a tough out, and that Sweet 16 matchup, man, it's look like it's setting up for a Sweet 16 matchup between Purdue and Duke, man. So let's see if both teams can take care of business in the first weekend, so we can see that matchup. Zach Edey against them Dukies. So let's see. And the number 4 seed, we got Tennessee and Louisiana Lafayette. Tennessee, who has been great in the SEC all year, should win that matchup against Louisiana Lafayette. Then this is an interesting matchup right here too. Kentucky and Providence. Providence, who's coached by Ed Cooley and those guys. And they have a couple of guys, man. Bynum running the point for them, and they should definitely be one of the teams to try to make a run and try to see if they can upset Kentucky, a Kentucky team led by Toppin. And Kentucky they've been getting bounced lately. So let's see if they can make a run right here in this tournament, man. Let's see. In this matchup, this is one match I'll definitely have my eye on. It's a Friday night, man. 11-6 matchup Friday night. This game is at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. So let's see, man, if Kentucky can make a run. I said Jacob Toppin was the leading scorer. No, Shebway. I forgot these guys still here. Oscar Shebway, who's leading the team in scoring in 17 points a game, man. But they Toppin and Wheeler are a couple of guys that could definitely put the ball in the basket for Kentucky in this matchup. So watch out for them. As we move along, we have the Kansas State Wildcats against Montana State. Kansas State been making a lot of noise in the Big 12 this year. Kansas State, definitely a team that definitely can make a deep run in the tournament, man. Led by Keontae Johnson. So let's see if they could Keontae George. So let's see if they can make a run. Michigan State, man. Tom Izzo against USC. Old classic Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12 matchup. And Probably get used to this matchup, man. In a couple of years, the USC will be going to the Big Ten. So get used to seeing this matchup. But Michigan State and USC should be a good one right there. Then you got Marquette, man, the winner of the Big East regular season and conference championship, taking on Vermont, the Caterpillars. So Marquette, man, another team, man, to watch out for. Another team to watch out for. So we'll see, man. We'll see. All right, so these was the last 4 teams in, as mentioned, Mississippi State, Pittsburgh, and you have Arizona State right there, and now Nevada. This was the last 4 teams in. These are the 4 teams you want to see in the next couple of days, trying to fight their way into the field of 64 when it's all said and done. So this should be some good matchup. And these was your last 4 out. And the team that stands out in this last 4 out is North Carolina. Preseason number 1. Preseason number 1. And for them not to make the tournament is embarrassing. As a North Carolina, for any North Carolina fan, I'm not a North Carolina fan. Syracuse fan, my team didn't make nothing. The NIT, nothing. But let's see if they can make them run in this NIT. I think North Carolina, no, the last time they was in the NIT, they lost to Dayton, I believe. And I actually went to that game at the Garden. So it's bad, man. Preseason number 1. This is the first time since the field expanded to 64 teams that the preseason number 1 team didn't make the NCAA tournament. So it says a lot, man. But let's see if North Carolina definitely could bounce back in this NIT, man. They definitely number 1 overall 1 seed and one on those brackets. And then Clemson also didn't make it. Another team out there, ACC. They ain't got Rutgers, who, looked like they was gonna make it in January, but they didn't finish off. They ain't finished good towards the end of the season. So Rutgers definitely could make a run in the NIT. But we're not here to talk about the NIT. We are here to talk about the dance, man. The dance. Coaches in a first year in the dance in year 1, man. Jon Scheyer, man, winning the ACC championship, conference championship, and his first year in there. You got Toby Anderson for FDU. Fairleigh Dickinson is in the building. Jersey, making the tournament in their first year. Kevin Willard, Kevin Willard was the Seton Hall head coach here, but now he have his Maryland Terrapins in the NCAA tournament this year. You got Chris James, Dennis Gates, another guy that led his team, and Coach Sean Miller, man, for Xavier in their first year making the tournament. So shout out to those coaches, man, and let's see if one of these teams can make a deep run, man. Conferences that had multiple bids, led by Big Ten and SEC, tied for 8 teams in the dance. Then you had Big 12 coming in there with 7 teams. ACC only had 5. They could have had 7, but Clemson and North Carolina is outside looking in. Big East only had 5 in there this year. Pac-12 only 4. Mountain West, and like I mentioned earlier in the show, had 4 teams in there. Kudos to them. West Coast Conference have Gonzaga and St. Mary's in there. And the American Conference have Houston and Memphis, I believe, are the only 2 teams that made it out of that conference in the tournament. So gonna be interesting, man. Definitely gonna be an interesting tournament as we get closer, man. Shout out to these schools right here. They both boys and women's team, men's and women's team, made it to the tournament. Alabama, Arizona, Baylor, Creighton. Yeah, the Drake Bulldogs, yes. Duke Blue Devils, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, the Fighting Illini, Indiana Hoosiers, Iona had both teams that made it. Iowa Hawkeyes had both teams. Shout out to the Iowa girls team, man. Caitlin Clark, man, is a beast. Definitely gonna see if I could catch a couple of her games in the women's tournament. We had Iowa State, Marquette, Maryland. Had they both men and women team made the tournament. You have the U getting both men's and women's in the tournament. Mississippi State, NC State, Princeton, Jersey in the tournament represented. Had both teams in there. Purdue, Tennessee, Texas. A lot of big names on there. UCLA. UConn, the tournament would not be nothing if the UConn women's was not in the tournament. USC, then you had Vermont and West Virginia to round that off. The schools that had two teams that made it to the tournament. I believe one year both UConn, I'm trying to think what year was it. Both UConn men and women won the championship. Not Kimber. It was not Kimber year. I want to say Shabazz Napier year. That those both teams won the championship. And it's the bracket right here. The full bracket, man, and bracketology, man. It's as that first day, man. You sitting there and you watching, and hopefully your brackets don't get busted, man. You're gonna have some teams, man. Like I said, the strategy. I said, look at the 5 and 12 matchups. Last year it was split 2 and 2. You have 2 5 seed teams won, and two 12 seed teams did advance to the second round of the tournament. So that's one of my things to look at. The 8 and 9 matchups are usually be the toughest matchups. So like West Virginia and Maryland, definitely gonna be a good matchup. Or you got Arkansas and the Fighting Illini is gonna be a good matchup. So we'll see, man. And you gotta look at the top seed. Which top seed is gonna get eliminated first, man? As we go back, let me see and pull the brackets back up. Hold on. Which top seed we feel like is gonna get eliminated first? When I look at it, who have the toughest bracket? Say the East region. Of course, they'll make the East region the probably the toughest bracket. As we look at the East region again, you have Duke, Kentucky, a couple of blue blood teams in there. Memphis, who could give a Purdue team a run for their money in that second round game if they do advance past Florida Atlantic. And you got Marquette, man, that's in there, the Big East champions. That's coached by Shaka Smart, who should be the coach of the year this year in college basketball. Then you have Providence, man. You can't count Providence out too. That Kentucky and Providence game probably gonna be one of the best one of my top 3 first round games. So yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be. I think this is the toughest. Of course, they will make this the toughest bracket out of everybody. Once again, man, we're running a tournament, a bracket challenge. We have our bracket challenge on ESPN. I'm gonna post the link up again. Just post the link up and just follow. Join us on that link, or you could go on my page and click on the link there. It's a $5 per bracket if you want to join in. $5 per bracket. You can get on there and join. And let's just have some fun, man. We have 2 brackets going on. I have the Off the Top Sports bracket for Off the Top Sports Radio page. And we have one for Wild Wednesday, June's Court. The Wild Wednesday, June's Court, the person that come in first place is gonna get a swag bag brought to you by Sand Sports. You're gonna have a couple of hoodies in there, a couple of goodies in there. And the Off the Top Sports is cash prize, man. In first place, get the cash prize. So, yeah, man, just fill them in, man. You got the Thursday afternoon. After Thursday afternoon, everything is locked after Thursday afternoon. So, get them in there, man. Get them in there, man. Get them in definitely. So, that's pretty much it, man. Den was supposed to be here. My co-host Den, probably had ran into probably has something to do, but yeah, man. Been doing this bracket challenge things for years, man. And like I said, you probably see a couple of perfect brackets, but everybody don't have a perfect bracket, man. You'll have that one team that's gonna make the run, that you probably didn't expect. Probably somebody that go to that school or in that neighborhood expect them to make that run. But double C teams that I like that could make a run. NC State, sitting there as a 12 seed, could definitely make a run. You got College of Charleston. They could shoot with the best of them. I felt like they gave San Diego a tough out right there. So I like College of Charleston. Furman, man. Furman sitting there at that 13 seed against Virginia. Virginia team that just lost to Duke in the ACC championship. Furman as another team to watch out for. I'll definitely be putting Furman the events on a couple of my brackets. Because they definitely could be a tough out for Virginia. Give me a second. As we go to do the schedule, man, for this for to start Thursday with West Virginia and Maryland, man, to kick things off, but I always forget the playing games. You still got the playing games, Rich. I don't really count those games, because I really look forward Thursday. Thursday is where the madness begins for me. You'll get a little matchups and Dayton with these guys, but Pitt and Mississippi State. Then you got Wednesday. You got Nevada and Arizona State, and Fairleigh Dickinson and Texas against Texas Southern. But Thursday is where everything kicks off for me, man. And Furman in Virginia is the second game of the day. Second game of the day, Furman and Virginia. That should be a good matchup. Furman, who's led by in scoring by Mike Boatwell, man, 18 points a game. They got two guys that average double digit scoring, man. So yeah, man, they definitely gonna be a tough out in the tournament, but that's the second game of the day. So then you go move along to Thursday. You got a couple more games. You got Utah State and Missouri. I like this game to be a high scoring game. Then you got Kansas and Howard. Kansas was favored about 21 points in that game. Should beat the brakes out of Howard in that game. Then you got Alabama. You got another number one seed, Alabama. They're waiting for the winner of the FDU and Southern game, I believe. So that game will take place on Thursday. Hold on. My bad. But yeah, let me see another game. Charleston and San Diego State. This is the game I'm pissed with it is. I like Charleston in this game over San Diego State. Then you got 4:00 Princeton against Arizona. The Fighting Illini against Arkansas. Then the night games, you got Auburn and Iowa. Should be another great 8 and 9 matchup. To kick things off in the evening. Then you got Duke and Oral Roberts, man. Oral Roberts ain't no slouch, man. This is gonna be definitely a high scoring game. Duke definitely got a lockdown on some of the guys, man. Then you got Colgate and Texas. Texas team that I mentioned can definitely make a deep run. You got Boise State and Northwestern. The kick off the evening. Then the late games on Thursday will be North Kentucky against Houston, Louisiana against Tennessee. Then you got Penn State against Texas A&M. Should be a good one right there, man. Texas A&M gave Alabama all they could get in that SEC championship game. They made a deep run, and they should be one of those teams to look out for. Then UNC Asheville against UCLA to end things on Thursdays to kick off things. So then you go to Friday afternoon, and I'm calling now. Definitely Friday usually my day when I take off. So hopefully these games be good. But you got USC and Michigan State to kick things off. They got the West Coast team. I like Michigan State in this game right here. West Coast team coming out of East and played and because that game gonna start 9:15 West Coast time. Yikes. Kennesaw State against Xavier will be 12:40 p.m. Eastern. Then you got UNC Santa Barbara against Baylor. Then that you got VCU, then St. Mary's, Vermont, and Marquette, 2:45 p.m. Eastern. That should be a good one. Marquette favored by 11 in that game. Iowa State is waiting for the winner of one of the playing games, and I believe that game they're waiting the winner for Nevada, Arizona State in that game. Then you got Arizona's. Then you got NC State and Creighton, another game that should be high scoring. They have it the over and under right here at 148.5. But let's say I think should be more than that, but I like the over. Then you got Iona and UConn. UConn favored by 9. This is we call it Tri-State area game. Iona definitely a team coming out of the MEAC, man. Definitely could give UConn a run for their money, man. UConn come out slow rolling. And to kick off the evening games, you got Purdue. We'll be waiting for one of the winners of the Southeast Missouri. And what game was that? Southeast Missouri and let me see. And the Texas Southern. No, they were getting the winner out of the Texas Southern FDU game. So yeah. As we move along, we got Providence and Kentucky. That's one of my favorite games on Friday. Providence definitely a team that could give Kentucky a run for their money, man. Led in scoring by Bryce Hopkins, man. But they got a lot of guys that definitely could put the ball in the basket. And Ed Carswell, Noah Locke, Jared Bonner, just to name a few players in that game. So definitely gonna be an interesting matchup to watch. Comes on Friday evening at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Then you got Drake in Miami, 7:25 p.m. Eastern. Drake team, that's that 12-5 matchup that I've been talking about, everybody. But Miami should win this game, but don't count the Drake Bulldogs out. You got Grand Canyon as a 14 seed taking on Gonzaga. Gonzaga should win this game. 15-point favorites in this games, so they should win this game. Then the late games and on Friday night will be Florida Atlantic against Memphis. Memphis is one of my dark horse teams that could make a run, man, in this tournament, man, led by Kendrick Davis. 9:40, you got K-State taking on Montana State. Then you got Indiana against Kent State. Kent State definitely could put the ball in the basket. Indiana need to watch out, man. Then you got TCU winning the win out of Mississippi State. And what's the fourth? Mississippi State. I forgot the last team that was in there, but they're waiting for the winner of that game. So it's gonna get interesting, man. Definitely gonna get interesting. Once again, man, we got the bracket challenge, man, going on the Off the Top Sports page. and the Wild Wednesdays pay on Wild Wednesday. We got the Wild Wednesday June's Court bracket challenge. I'm gonna make that one public. I have it private for right now, but I'm gonna make it public. Anybody could join. And Off the Top Sports bracket challenge is $5 per bracket, man. $5 per bracket. The first place winner will definitely get the cash prize, man. If it's a lot more people that join in, we probably do a second place, but it depends on how many people join. So definitely be tuned in for that, man. Who y'all like, man? I see a couple of people in here. Who do y'all like winning it all, man? Who's y'all dark horses? Who's y'all Cinderella teams? Let me know, man. Who y'all like, man, to win it? Man. Who do y'all like? Like I said, man, if I had to pick a number one seed to win it all, I would say Kansas, but it's hard to go back to back. My favorite picks of the regionals are the West, Kansas versus UConn, East Regional, Duke and Marquette. Duke and Marquette. Okay. Kansas and UConn matchup will be lit. Definitely will be a lit matchup. William Hathaway. Definitely be a lit matchup. Anybody else, man? Who y'all like? Who y'all like to make to the Final Four? Who y'all like to make it to the Final Four? Then the Final Four will be in Texas this year. It'll be in Texas. Who do y'all like? Who y'all like? Alabama, Arizona. In the South region, Alabama, Arizona. Okay. Okay. Well, that's gonna be pretty much it. William Hathaway, like Houston, Texas. That's gonna be pretty much it. We're gonna talk more about the tournament on Wild Wednesday on June's Court. So definitely tune into that 6 p.m. Eastern right here on the Sand Sports Multimedia Network. We also gonna talk about it on the Top Sports Radio tomorrow. We have special guests, Sports with Bree in the building, so we'll definitely get in more into the tournament, break down the bracket more. So tune into that at 6 p.m. on the Art to Top Sports page. We'll be live on YouTube, Twitch, and the Facebook. So definitely tap into that. We'll definitely talk about that on there. So definitely tune in tomorrow evening. I have a great show for y'all. So that's pretty much it. I want to thank everybody that tuned in, man. I just wanted just a quick pop-up show just to break down the bracket, man, March Madness, and follow us, man. The Sand Sports Network. We have a lot of big things going on in the next couple of months, man. Especially today, especially going on today. If you're looking for any news about the free agency that's going on in NFL right now, the tampering part of the free agency, to just stay follow Sand Sports, man. He'll definitely update you with what's going on in the NFL, and pretty much with all the sports, man. He do it all, man. So definitely be tuned into that. So that's pretty much it, man. I want to thank my guy William Hathaway. I'm doing the show by myself. I couldn't send you the link, my guy, but next time I got you. But yeah, I want to thank you for tuning in. I see my man Chad Strader from YouTube, a YouTube viewer. We won't get those a lot, but thanks for tuning in to the show. My man Ron Thomas just checking in. Ron Thomas in the building. Shout out to my man Ron, man. That's pretty much it, man. So I'll see y'all tomorrow Off the Top Sports Radio. Remember, we got the bracket challenge going on, man. They're on my page on June Pierre page. They should be also on Off the Top Sports page and on Wild Wednesdays page. I had the link up here. I'll post the link again. Let me post the link again for the people that want to join. The Off the Top Sports page is Off the Top Sports bracket is $5 per bracket, and the Wild Wednesday June's Court bracket is free. The winner will get a swag bag from Sand Sports Multimedia Network. So definitely join, man. And I'm actually, when I get off the show, make it public. So that's pretty much it for this show. I want to want to thank everybody that tuned in, and I see y'all later. Deuces.